Hello everyone, this is Roseland with the Roseland Exchange. Today we're looking at three-way T-intersection for single rail lines. These are the time codes if you want to skip to any particular part of this video. And if you're new here, I would appreciate you giving this video a like, and make sure to subscribe if you want to be kept up to date with new tutorials and Let's Play. Let's do this. A few months ago, I was building a rail system in my server, and I found out that I had a need for a three-way intersection. So I did a little bit of searching, and I saw this brilliant design that was posted to YouTube somewhere around 7 years ago, where you hit a button and you go in the direction of the button that you pressed, which is super handy. So if you want to go straight, you'll actually get a change, and you'll go around. And I said, well, this design is cool and all, but it's a bit big, and is using redstone from about 7 years ago. So what I did was I broke it apart into its component pieces. The little top section that kind of decodes what button needs to do what. And the two pulse lengtheners, which are being turned on by those buttons up above. That just gets fed into the switcher and the three powered rails. So here's what I came up with. Shrinks the whole system considerably, and takes advantage of some of the improvements that redstone has seen over the past couple of years. Okay, so we're going to start building this from what you see as a flat T-intersection. You need a minimum of 3 blocks on either side, and a couple more out here. As you can see, it bleeds over a little bit on that far one. 4 more in the center stem of the T. And the block that you will actually be switching is 1 block below the rest of your track. This section needs to be pulled out 3 in either side, because we're going to be using the angles of the rails created by this little ramp to actually power our drive in the 3 directions. So you have your intersection here. And we'll get ourselves a normal rail, go around here, and there is your intersection. Okay, from here we're going to build the orange circuit, which you're going to place 2 blocks above your rails, and you're going to send it 4 blocks back. At the end of these 4 blocks, you're going to put an observer that faces up, and you're going to put booster rails all the way to that observer. This is going to be how you carry the signal that you want to switch. The directionality will matter, and it will be different depending on which orientation you have. You see I have 2 different orientations here. I will explain the difference in that one. But from here you're going to want this lamp and this lamp to directly power this line. So you will place a little bit of redstone on both of these, and they can carry buttons. Oop. Buttons, there we go. These 2 can carry buttons. So you'll get your signal being carried. From here, you're going to want to take an observer, run it over 1 block, and then down until they are in line with the blocks of the intersection. After which you'll give it a block. You will be placing some redstone on here, and a repeater to power that block. From here, you actually create the pulse extender, which is visible in the first version of this device, which involves several repeaters running along this line. So, repeater, repeater, and we'll run redstone all the way down here. For this last block, you'll place a torch, redstone there, and now to actually power this block in the middle, you'll be placing a torch here and a redstone repeater into it, and running 3 bits of redstone to meet that bit. we have the track switcher. Now, you saw there, it's actually not lengthening the pulse. That is because the pulse needs to be extended by 4, 4, and 4 to actually make sense in this system. So, full extension on the repeaters, and we should see turns sideways and turns back. Nice. That is the orange circuit made. For the blue circuit, we are going to start from where our buttons begin, because we are going to be using observers pulling the signal up and out of the block to run our signals. From here, we're going to put a couple of blocks along with powered rail. This is a little bit finicky, but you can place them in parallel and it shouldn't connect. And an observer here, facing into that powered rail. So we carry our signal this way. And from here, one more block with more powered rail, and the observer is going to look straight up. And we're going to drop it the same length as we did for the orange. Up here, make sure you have power rail over the whole thing, that way you have instant transmission. And we will begin taking in the signal from here. Now, you're actually going to be mirroring the system that we already used for the pulse extender, because we want this line to be powered for as long as people are inside of the intersection. So, you place your repeaters facing the correct direction, and one more here for good measure. Blob of redstone, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is the beginning of our line. From here, we're actually moving the signal up. So, we are taking this line back on itself, powering that block over there with a redstone repeater, and we're putting another repeater in here. Now, don't worry about this cross-contamination, we will solve that in just a second. We want to keep this line running this way and run it back around, and we will also be powering this line and finally one more repeater right there. So we run redstone all the way around, put a repeater there, and we have it all in. Now, what is crucial here is that you cut these redstone lines with some kind of block. That way we don't get any feedback and everything still works. I'm actually going to put these with blue because they are different lines, and theoretically this should work. So if you want to turn right, you hit that button and it only powers the tracks and then turns off. If you want to go straight, it should switch the tracks, power the line, and then return back to normal. Same with over here. If you want to go straight, it should just power your lines, powers the lines. No. If you want to turn left, powers the lines and switches. If you want to go straight, it should just power the lines. And from over here, oh, I forgot the buttons. You put your buttons. If you want to turn right, it should power the lines and turn you right. And if you want to go left, it should just power your lines. And there we go. So, as you can see, the system is a little useful on the compact side of things. Now, I did mention that there is an issue with flipping it for the other direction. I have yet to exactly figure out why this is the case, but as you can see here, we have a different orientation from the T-intersection as reference. We're still using the blue line on the right side, and over here we're using the blue line on the right side. However, what we wanted for the actual switching had to be changed. So for going straight ahead, we needed it to switch, and to turn left, we needed it to... Oh, we have an issue. Oh, yeah, that's what happens. Make sure to cut your lines, folks. There you have it, folks. This is what the completed system looks like. Now, I did mention that there is an issue with directionality on this machine. And I'm not exactly sure what causes it. I haven't been able to figure it out that clearly. And I'm sure that there is a way to actually solve this just within the redstone itself. However, for the logic, it seems that if this is the fix that I created, if you want to turn left on this track, you just need to power the rails. So we need to carry the signal just through the blue line. And if we want to go straight, we need the rails to switch. So we're actually powering both lines, the blue and the orange. And yeah, hope this helped. Thank you, and see you next time. Just one more in a million.